Good evening, everyone, and welcome back. It's Wednesday. It is almost a few more days till we play the third round of EPL. We're talking about, of course, we're playing Nottingham Forest. We've been having some exciting news today, and of course, the Rasmus Højlund. We heard the play, behind closed doors and lost 3-0, but it's not what we're here for. We are basically done and dusted with all that PTSD, and we have to put a little bit of balance into the team. Me and Jarvis has been very nice, but we do have two sharp gentlemen in the background as well. That brings a little bit balance. We're talking about Daly and obviously Nuradin, Mr. Structure as well, which is late. He hasn't rocked in yet, but I do have Daly here. But before we continue, guys, you know what to do. You know how to smash that like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Jarvis is not in yet, so before we give him a little bit more minutes and let's go. Let's do this, guys. Are you ready to rumble? Because that's what we're going to do here, right now.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world
on Mufc Realist TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Good evening, Mr. Daly. How are you doing?
Evening, sir. Mr. Michael Buffer never gets old, does he? Never gets old. He's timeless.
It's timeless, 100%. Listen, we're going to talk about your position in the Fantasy Premier League because you're doing quite well as well later on. But where is Jarvis? Where is Nuradin? Hell, it's just you and me holding up the fort here.
I think we managed for a few minutes. I think we're able.
We do. People, I can see you. I see who is in the house here. We see Jarle Malmin is in here. Jamie Wayne, Stephanie Griffith. There was somebody, Jay, I had a morning show, so I'm a little bit blurry eyes, like tired. I was up like 5:30 in the morning, but somebody just donated 5 memberships, and I can't remember who it was. It was end of that stream. So Stephanie, please tell us who it was, and I will shout it out because that is massive. I'm sorry if I missed it. Why do I have an echo? Anyway, you know what? So we have a little bit of unbalanced squad that everyone has been talking about, a little bit of unbalanced midfield. And do you think there's going to be some resolution to that, Jay, this coming week? Because it's been reported regarding Gravenberch coming in on a loan. There's been reports of potentially going for Sofia Amrabat this week as well. What's your thoughts and feelings regarding?
Okay, so Amrabat, from what reports I've read, and obviously we're all reading the same stuff, Mick, pretty much, that he's not training with Fiorentina, that he's pushed for a move, he wants to go, and he's made it public to his teammates and his manager he wants to go. Our issue is we right now don't want to spend the money, and we have players blocking being sold. We obviously should have taken that 30 mil offer for Scott McTominay last month. That was 30 mil. Thank you very much. Should have taken that. And Amrabat will be in situ now. He's been quoted at £29 million. I think West Ham offered 30 for Scott. That's good business. And as we know, then we have my favorite player of all time, Mr. Charisma, Maggie Maguire, refusing to leave the club with a £6 million payoff. So just put it in context. We can't get rid of Harry Maguire because he won't take £6 million payoff. Mick, I'm sure in all our working lives, we never dream of making £6 million. This guy's been paid £6 million to leave and he won't take it. Okay. Donny van de Beek is linked to loan moves. Mick, you're muted.
That's 120 a week, isn't it?
It's 190 a week. Okay, and he was going to be on £100,000 with West Ham. So basically, the club was saying, right, your wages for 2 seasons is 12. We'll pay you 6, and you're going to get 100 grand a week with West Ham. So I think it's safe to say Harry Maguire is a very, very wealthy man. If he never played football again, his money's made. He's made enough money for his great-grandchildren. So the wanton greed and avarice displayed by Maguire, is it indicative of players at that club under the tenure of Woodward and Solskjaer? They were all put on crazy big contracts, long tenure contracts, and we can't get rid of them. Dean Henderson, 100 grand a week. Martial, 250. So, Donny van de Beek, who I like. I'm fortunate for Donny, it didn't work out. He's in big bucks. He's been linked to a loan move to Real Sociedad for the last couple of weeks. That hasn't happened. And now, Pellistri talks of him going to Sheffield United on loan. I'd love to keep Pellistri. I think Pellistri has massive potential. And like right now, like from what you've seen in Pellistri, so I know we have a very small body of work this season to compare Pellistri, but I'd rather Pellistri on the wing right now than Anthony. So right now, Mick, it's a bit of a shambles.
It is a shambles. But listen, Jay, I really appreciate it. But to add a little bit more structure and balance, let us introduce the Mr. Structure himself to the stream. Good evening, Therapy Army, Mr. Structure. It's been a hot minute. How are you doing, sir?
Big up, people. Big up, Jay.
Evening, sir.
Yeah. I think he hit the nail on the head. We are kept hostage. The club is in chaos. And as I saw Johnny come lately saying Arnold out, that made me laugh. That makes me laugh. That really made me laugh. People want Richard Arnold out. Like people like majority of people who know what's going on at their football club know that guy is a clown. Every one of them is a Glazer lackeys. They all need to F off with the Glazers. Simple as. And at the end of the day, we are where we are. And people told me about Merton Madness. I'm still fucking waiting. I'm still waiting for the Merton Madness crew. They're all gone into hiding. I've specifically been targeted because I talk about the Merton on Twitter. They literally come and what do? They usually come and tell me, oh, you're so negative. You're very negative. Tell me something to be positive about. What's there to be positive about? Even in Manchester United, when winning trophies, we knew what the problem was at the football club. So some of these, I don't know. I actually think Manchester United have employed those trolling farms that you get, that governments employ. I genuinely think that's what they've done, because the level of positivity of this transfer window and surrounding the club and all these pieces run by these crony journalists who are in bed with the people at the club, saying about, oh, look how good these people are. Look, they've done amazing. I've done what? Like, what have we done? Manchester City, I think, are going to get that Nunes kid from Wolves, Galvadol. They're signing that left winger, the highly talented, rated left winger. I look around and think, wow. And they did a treble last year. Listen, it is what it is. I have to live in this city, knowing that our rivals have done that. Manchester United needed to get 5 potential world-class players into the first team for this manager to crack on, to try to actually, close the gap. And we're sat here. How long is it now? Before September? Is it September the 1st or the end of the... Is it 12 o'clock on 31st? Is it 31st August?
Yeah, 9 days more left to go.
Yeah. So we sat here, twiddle like that, twiddling our thumbs like we usually do. And we're saying now the club, the latest in Manchester, what I'm seeing on the news is that the club thinking about maybe going into the transfer window to buy a player. Absolutely clown. Listen, I coined a phrase a long time ago. Manchester United is a tragic For us, a lot of us is for tragic comedy club. And so I said we are a Netflix special that never ends. That's who we are. We are Manchester United is a Netflix special that never ends. But people want me to be positive. Positive. I'm never going to be positive or those vultures fuck off. Until the vultures go, I can never see any positivity in this football club.
Should I make you smile a little bit?
How could I smile? What would make me smile?
This guy.
There you go. Never gonna
Jarvis.
let you go. Never
gonna let you go. Jarvis,
big up everyone. Big up.
What
big
do you
up,
have
big
to
up,
say?
Nuradin, big up Jay. Big up Mick. Good to be back. I've been sitting in the back room. Mick wouldn't let me in, but now I'm finally here.
Well, there was a little bit of a tragedy. Like, you know, we are the nice guys who are always talking positive. So we got to have a little bit balance, you know, because the squad is unbalanced, right?
Nice
and now
guys.
Nuradin doesn't.
We're not, well, yeah, I don't prefer to be called a nice guy, but it's all good.
You're a nice guy.
I'm the moaner, Mr. Negative. That's what I'm going to change from Mr. Structure, Mr. Negative. But you know what? I can sleep at night with my conscience clear, knowing that the stuff that I know about this football club and how much of a chaos it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, and what's going on. And the reality is there. Even if we won the first 2 games, I still would be like, what's going on? Where are the signings?
Okay. So we have the real Mr. Therapy army in the house. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and feelings. Jarvis, talk to us. Do you agree what Jay is saying? Do you agree what Nuradin is saying as well? And you've been sitting there in the green room listening, waiting, and we've been singing your song, Never Gonna Give You Up. Are we gonna give it up, or are we, you know, gonna trust the process?
Give you up. Never gonna let you down. No. I gotta be honest. I'm optimistic for the rest of the season. Yeah, I think Ten Hag have a plan, and I am looking forward to see it. When it comes to the transfers and the Glazers, there's nothing we can do about it. We know the Glazers will screw us everywhere we go, and how. And the club, you know, they have been doing this for 18 years, so this is nothing new. The transfer window is just like every other transfer window. So yeah, I'm not very optimistic. Okay, we need 3 more players. We need 2 midfielders, one defensive center back, and we need a striker. 4 players in 9 days. Are you kidding me? It won't happen. So this is what we got. Maybe we'll get Amrabat. Yes, I think we will, but that's it. So how will Ten Hag move forward? Yeah, we have a lot of players coming back from injury, especially Ahmad and Mainu, 2 great players, and I think they will play a role in this year's team because, you know, we don't have any other players to rely on. Should I put all the pressure on 18 years old? No, I won't. But I hope and I expect and I wish they will take a part in this team.
I have somebody that has an answer, and that's just coming right in.
Super chat, super chat, super chat.
Super chat.
It's Mr. Alien Tenor coming in with a super chat. Right uppercut saying, forget about the wife, send me to Alaska instead. What are you going to do there in Alaska? You're going to scout for talents like Eskimos to play. Like, you know, come on, Alien Tenor. Big up, Peter. You know, listen, guys, let's crack on with the show. Let's give it a rant because I believe that I'm muting Jay because I can get the echo from Jay. So whenever you want to speak, raise your hand and I will unmute you, sir. But anyway, 9 days, of course, we had Sofian Amrabat there. We have Gravenberch that clearly, like, you know, Klopp is not going to get on a loan deal. I'm sure that Ten Hag has the pulling power over Klopp. There's even been reported for a young striker. There's Marcus Leonardo. So things can be happening. That's the thing. We did a morning show today, and I think it's going to be a panic buy, to be honest, right at the end of the window. The pressure is on. And Nuradin, you know, there's going to be that protest, 1958 protest, to sit down. It's going to be a lot of pressure on the club, and there's also rumblings coming out for the sale in September, October. So listen, we are here to talk about all those things. Who wants to go first? Like, you know, Jay, do you see positivity that, you know, there will be some signings at, you know, in the last 10 to 10 days?
I just want to sum United up. You all remember the movie with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage, The Rock, think sometime 1990s, Connor came up with this banger. I think it sums up United fan base. Like last season, City came and took our triple, and we set dormant like doormats. So losers almost whine about doing their best. Winners go and fuck the prom queen, Sean Connery, the Rock. And I think what I can't get is this loser mentality in the fan base. Like Roy Keane said it for years. What's second place? Who wants to be second? And now the fan base standards have so lowered that getting top four, getting Champions League is suddenly enough. But I'm cascaded on Twitter for being negative. What? Because I have standards. For me, guys, obviously we can go back through history, and I suppose a lot of our people watching tonight are not younger fans. But for me, the 10 of the Glazers, I'll give one snapshot. 08, when we lost Ronaldo, we just won the Champions League, beat Chelsea. And then we saw Ronaldo, and we bought Valencia and gave him number 7. And then two consecutive European Champion finals, we played Barcelona. And Barcelona toyed with Ferguson's team like they were schoolboys. The writing was on the wall then. But just because Ferguson was such a force of nature, he was almost able to get a greater sum of the parts. Won the title back in 2013, and I think since then we literally have stuttered and stammered. But people like me and their structure, I said, we get crap on social media because we're negative. No, we've got standards. That's the difference. So, young kids probably grew up watching United with this low base level of winning a League Cup or getting 4th place. And that's all they know. Unfortunately, that's the club for them. And the Glazers know that those kids will keep buying the jerseys. They'll keep buying the merch because they will believe the PR bullshit that comes out. And every so often you get a shiny new signing, but is it the right signing? Like Mason Mount, I'd love to hear your guys' views on. Okay, he's injured now. I think on weekend. Okay, I know it's Forest, so it's probably not a great example. But would we do better against Forest with Ericsson beside Casemiro and Bruno as number 10 than we're doing with Mount? Some of the tees out. Would you have bought Mason Mount when we needed a CDM and a proper striker? Hoyland, 20 years old, and already the fans think he's a savior. He's a raw kid. He's 20. We need another striker and 2 more CDMs before we even talk about challenging.
Yeah. Nuradin, what's your opinion?
Yeah, it hurts, man. It hurts. I think he said it. I think me and Jay, I think maybe the two on Twitter who think I like the most. At the end of the day, Manchester United are used to a saviour, and they also love a somebody to blame. So we like to blame, scapegoat somebody, and we also like to a saviour. And it's simple for me. Is even if we would have won and played good games, we know that there are a lot of football to be played. Manchester United needed to refresh that squad in terms of giving Ten Hag the right players on the bench, actually moving some of the players who played last year onto the bench and bringing in fresher players for them to go into. I think a goalkeeper, a centre half, 2 midfielders. Even though in this window, I think even though I genuinely think we need 3 midfielders in a long term, it would have been a goalkeeper, a centre half, 2 midfielders, and 2 strikers. That's what would have been. A proper football club would have done that. A proper football club would have moved and made moves like that. But we're not that proper football club. We're not. We're in the Glazonomics. The club come out with a lot of PR because that's what we are. To be fair, if there was for me a competition to have the best PR in the world, I think Manchester United would win that PR trophy every year. I think we would be undefeated in terms of PR. And I always think if they spent the amount of energy and time and money they put into PR, if they spent quarters of that onto, quarter of that onto the football club,
yeah,
and to want to win and want to do well for the football club, then I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't know who the bankers were from Bristol University. I wouldn't be asked about the Glazers. We'll be sitting here praising them. That's the maddest thing. And then people tell me, but they're very good at. They're very, very good at. Very clever. They're billionaires for something. They're very clever. Clever. The clever is that they could leave this club for their grandchildren if they ran it properly.
Yes,
If
exactly.
if they run this football club properly, their grandchildren will be billionaires because they would just get the footballing rolling. They would do the structural investments that which we needed. They would have a winning mentality, monsters, in every department of the football club, especially on the playing side. They would have one of the best recruitment because of the name Manchester United. They would just, you know what Real Madrid do? Real Madrid hardly ever try to convince a player. They just put their trophies, their Champions Leagues on the table and go.
Actually, you sum it up quite nice there, my friend, because if you were given the keys to be owner of Manchester United, you make a legacy for your grandchildren, right? You make it successful. And positive business generates more money for you at the end of the day. But it's just been proven that they have no clue in what they're doing in business. Even Buccaneers are suffering. It's all been credits. But anyway, there's a big protest coming out on Wednesday, 1958, United against the Glazers. I assume you're going. But I can sort of agree with you that, you know, they have created this divide within the fan base. And people are so quick to find a scapegoat to blame. Like, you know, we kicked the ball twice this season, and I see people already calling for Erik ten Hag's head. You know, are you mad? You know what I mean? So it's like you forget who is the actual villain here. It's the Glazers, basically. Why would you kick out a manager, which is the best thing that happened since Sir Alex Ferguson, that won us a silverware last year, that overachieved? You know, I just don't get it. But anyway, we had this therapy session yesterday, where we cleared out the air. So I just feel like we need to sort of reinforce and back the team. Look, you know, be a little bit more patient. 10 days left of the transfer window. Anything could happen. There is a plan. And coming back to the Mason Mount situation, Ten Hag recruited only Mason Mount with the notion that he will get an Amrabat playing next to it. Otherwise, it wouldn't work. So that's what we're seeing right now. I see that we potentially going to get an Amrabat over the line with a loan deal for Gravenberch. And if we do that, we're cooking in the midfield, guys, right? We've seen that now they're overruling, even buying that goalkeeper as well. They might bringing, what's his name, this center defender midfield, but rest assured he's not going to play Maguire. There's a revolt there. There's a sort of a balance. There's a battle of attrition. Who's got the leverage? We heard about his agent, Stephen Beck's extorting money. He's not going to be even seeing the bench. So you're going to play this game. You're not even going to play football. You're just going to be like another Phil Jones, like, you know, just see the contract out and just rip it up. That's the way I see it, though. But anyway, we are not going to neglect Jarvis, who is in the VAR room. We should give it a shout out.
Yeah, we should do that. Do you want me to handle the VAR?
Yes, please. Sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you started. I wasn't here in the first couple of minutes, so
no, just give. I see everyone. The Jarl is in the house. I see Stephanie. Big ups is everyone. Says RG is here. You know, big up for all of you. Alien Tenno came in with a uppercut with the super chat early. 100%. Who else do we have here? Stephanie Griffiths is in here. Edward Reed. Also, we have Edward Reed. A lot of Edward Reeds. There's a lot of clones of Edward Reeds. Do you see anyone else here? Billy Connolly is here as well.
I see we have Jeff Steele in the house, and he has a question for Jay. You say, "Oh my God, Jay, is that a Dallas Cowboys hat you're wearing?" A lot of low hearts. Go Cowboys!
Go Cowboys! And the Cowboys have lost both of their preseason games. But as an aside, you're going to love this. We now have the smallest ever player to play in the NFL, I think in like 50 years. He's like 5'3". He's like 80 kilos. He's going to be our backup running back. So I want to see a lot of him. I love American football.
Cool.
We have DJ Superfly ML is in the house as well. Billy Connolly we mentioned. Who else? Angie, one of our moderators. Good evening, everyone. Neil Driscoll is also saying hello. Scotty at the wheel. Scotty at the wheel saying, hey, everyone. Hi, Scotty. How you doing, my friend? Good evening. Good evening. Let's just do this. So, this is a person that I haven't seen before saying hello. Svak. I don't know how I pronounce your name. I don't want to slaughter your name. I'm word blind, but I read Svakai. Is that correct? Maburse. Big up to you, mate, and let us know where you are also chatting from. Lisa Jensen, all the way from Denmark. We have Muhammad Ali as well, the famous boxer, is here supporting this channel. Neil Driscoll is also saying hello, 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 hello. Jeffrey Buzz is here as well. Solutions to all, solutions to you as well. And who else? Mo Hamza from all the way from Qatar. I see you, Mo. I see you. How you doing today? Simon Heron is also here saying hello, everyone. There's a lot of you tuning in. Welsh Girls 68, big up to you, Welsh Girls. Back the manager, back the team, attack the owners and the board. That's who we need to focus on. Don't split the fight. Glazes out. That is the quote of the day. Big up to you, Welsh Girl. I really love what you were saying there. Mark is in the house as well. Evening, so glad you come online again. Let's get away from the United Stand negativity. Yeah, we are not the United Stand, but we are fellow content creators. So I don't talk bad about them. You know what I mean? You know, we do respect each other. United Real Therapy is in the house. He's actually here. Wait a minute.
Me and Jarvis were both in jail. We were Mick put us in the gulag instead of the Glazers people. We were in the gulag. So that's why I was like, I'm here, get me out of the gulag, please.
Shouting for help. Let's see. We have a super chat, Mick.
Yeah, I have Klopp's hamstring here as well.
Oh,
okay. Do we have a super chat?
Yep.
Oh, bring it up.
Super chat.
This is here. What's the crack with my 4 favorite YouTubers? I don't know. What's the crack with you, Jay? Are you good?
YouTuber, be fair.
Yeah, sorry, I had you on mute, my friend. Come again. Oh.
A couple of guys in chat football.
Yeah. You good? All good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, good guys. Let's continue with the show, Jarvis. What do we have installed today? Are we going to talk a little bit about the fantasy football league? How we doing? Do you have anything to share with us today?
Well, we have another super chat first, so we got to take them first.
Okay, bring it up. See you at the Almano again on Saturday again, Nuradin. That's what Peter is saying to you, my friend. Right, yo. All right. I feel it's time to talk. I feel it's a little bit time to bring up the deposit. I'm super tired. It's been a long day. I need some coffee. If you want to buy me a coffee as well, or beer, anyone in the beer, you have the description in the link description as well, how to buy yourself a beer and coffee. Anyway, so what do we want to do first, people in the VR? Let us know what you want to do, because today you are also the content. Do you want us to start with the fantasy league quickly, like overrun to see how we're doing in the league? Nuradin, do you play fantasy league football by chance?
No, Manchester United already ruined things for me, so I can't have my weekend ruined thinking about bloody this and that. Find that for me already. Manchester United have got me covered. I'm covered and all that things. I'm really covered.
Yeah. No, well, give me a second, Mick. I will go to the fantasy, but I have to upload the slides first. So move on to the next subject.
Yeah, obviously. Now, guys, like, of course I'm nervous, guys. I cannot lie, right? But what we've seen in the 2 performances not being the best. Oh, here we go.
Okay. I'm okay. This is the leader, Bred with the Purpose, Selassie Quist. This is his team. He has Ederson in goal, Estupiñán, Saliba, Botman, Saka, Almiron, Mitoma, Mbuemo, Salah, Holland as captain and Watkins. So he's leading this league, and the FPL league stand is where is it? Here is it at the stream. As you can see here, I don't know if you can see it. It's a little bit small, but you have a Beard with a Purpose in first place. He have 142 points. Red Devils with Mateusz Randomski. He's 133 points, so he's doing well. Good going, Mateusz. In third place, Ronny Strömset, Tora Blue or Pes, 126 points. And I will say that in fifth place, we have our own Jay Daly. So what's your comment and how do you feel about the team this week, Jay?
Okay, well, I went from 84 points week 1 to 40 odd week 2. Anybody in week 2 that had the triple up on the 3 Brighton players and our captained a Brighton player got over 100 points. Most of us are doing a triple up with Arsenal, with Saka, obviously, and Martinelli, and a Arsenal centre back. Unfortunately for me, I've got Gabriel, who hasn't played. He's got to be sold. And then I have got Rashford and Bruno for my sins, also in midfield. So my own team, this week, I'm going to go with 2 transfers. And I'm probably going to get rid of Onana and bring in Man City goalkeeper and cover Man City clean sheets. And I know as soon as I pull out Rashford and Bruno, they'll probably score a goal each or get an assist against Notts Forest. So it's kind of, will I, won't I take out Rashford this week? But I've got 3 free transfers. Definitely Onana's gone. It's a matter of who will fall for the next transfer. And then I've got Colwell on my bench, Chelsea defender. So he's going to go into the back 3 beside Chilwell. Chelsea have a very good run of fixtures, so I expect Chelsea to get a lot of clean sheets over the next 3 weeks. So I want to cover their clean sheets also. But look, there's 36 weeks to go. Anything can happen, as we can see. Like 5-6 points in a week, you could drop 100,000 places.
Yeah, it's that part of the season, and now it's just going with the most selected players and try to stay in the 1 million, and then you can shoot for the top 100,000 in afterwards. That's at least my goal. I will play it safe from now. I'm done gambling. I had Alexander Arnold as my captain this weekend, and he blanked with 2 points, so it was not good. But at least Holland blanked, so I didn't lose ground to everybody else. So I'm quite happy how it stands at the moment. I'm on 122 points. You see me in 12th place. Peace, love, bananas, Jarvis Cocker. So I will try to give you a fight, Jay. You are 3 points ahead of me, but that's not too bad.
Now, who is last then?
Oh, yeah, unmute, Jay.
So Jarvis, this week you got 2 free transfers. What are your thoughts on your transfers this week?
Oh well, I only have one free transfer left, and I'm going safe. I will try to get the visa from Brighton in, because no, is it Brighton? No, is it not Brighton?
From Brighton. No,
Yeah,
from Brentford.
Yeah, he's doing well, and Brentford has a lot of good games coming up. So I will put my bet on Brentford players at the moment.
So if you get rid of him, who you selling?
Yeah, I was transferring out Nunes from Liverpool because he only gets a couple of minutes every game, so it's a 1-pointer. So I needed to get rid of him.
So that then should give you some money in the bank then for transfers down the line as well. I think we saw, what's he, 6.5 million, 6.7 million? He's cheap.
He's very cheap. He's about 6.1.
Okay, good call.
Yeah, so we will see how it goes. And I just gonna go back to the table, and we have Mick Ruby. Everybody who hasn't seen it yet, he's on. Okay, I'm just gonna pick it up because I don't have the slides for the last place. It's on page 2. Mick Ruby, he's on 67th place with 76 points.
Ah, damn.
So
What's
you better,
what's
yeah, you're not doing that well. What's your comment to this, Mick?
I never played it before, so I haven't a clue. That's why I want to invite Nuradin as well to play. I don't want to end up last, so Nura, come on, join the league. Come on, man.
You got to
Do
listen
it.
to Jay. Jay has a lot of knowledge. I hear that he's good in FPL.
Hang on, what's going on? I'm
And
muted.
dead last
I'm not that
in
great.
73rd place is Botswana Papi. So
Yeah.
you're not
Puppies,
you're not on the bottom of the league of the presenters. You're doing well.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So it's a little bit embarrassing. I hate to lose though, but you know, I just don't. It's just that I don't have much time to play around with it, and when I do get in, I just panic. I don't know what buttons I'm pressing, and I'm just replacing, and I'm going, and I don't know. The first time that I did, it was a mistake because it was an auto mix, and I got all the crap players. Like, come on, man. So I'm now struggling to go on the transfer market, like you're
like
to
the
get some
Glazers.
players. Like the Glazers, yeah, 100%. I have to beg for money. Come on, please. Now, guys, thank you for sharing that. Like, if we're going to pick a topic, like, if you're going to look back at the week, if we have one rant of the week, I will go around the room and you will pick a rant. Whatever that you want to rant about, it can be Chelsea, could be Liverpool, could be Manchester United. This is what we call the Rantians League. So I will start with Mr. Structure first. Any free-based topic you want to rant about, go ahead. You have the microphone, sir.
What do I want to rant about? I don't. I think I'm ranted out. I think the problem is that there are two things, and I think what I would like to get across to the fan base is that you don't have to be there's something called nuance, right? And as adults, and even as young teenagers or young people, you can criticize the manager. You can criticize the manager's in-game management. You can criticize the manager's team lineup. You can criticize the manager's substitutions, and that doesn't make you the manager out. The manager out and you criticizing a manager is since football ever began, those things were happening. So people need to just chill the hell out. In terms of, we already know the parameters every manager at Manchester United has to work on. We already know about Glazonomics. We already know about all of these different things, people. And so when you say the manager has to do better or can do better for what he is on control of, then like you can say that as a football fan. I mean, I don't know. Jarvis, Mick, Jay, obviously they don't all live in the UK. Well, they don't. Jay, you're in Ireland. You're in Ireland, yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah, it's in Ireland. So you come to the games, you visit. You've been to Old Trafford loads.
Many
remember,
times.
yeah. So you remember all of the times standing next to people in the stands or sitting next to people where they're saying, "What's Fergie doing? What the hell is he playing at? What is he doing? He's losing it. He's losing the plot. It's a young man's game now. Maybe we need a fresh new ideas. What the hell is he playing at?" When he drops like the two informed strikers and brings in and messes about, and then plays like takes Beckham on the bench and plays Solskjaer on the right wing, and you're like, what's going on here? Like, I'll never forget. To me, the game was the FA Cup semi-final at Villa Park '99, and I'm like, Andy Cole, do I not play? Like, what are you doing? We need our best team. Sheringham and Solskjaer start. I think Beckham started in central midfield, if I'm not mistaken. Beckham was playing behind them. And we were like, what the hell is going on here? What is he doing? And yeah, Phil Neville played left back, if I'm not mistaken, obviously give the penalty away. And we were like, what are you playing at? Like, everybody was screaming, like, when we saw the lineup. So it's one of these things. I think people need to realize you can critique the coach, the manager. You can critique the players. All of it is just a match. That's what it is. But there's a long way from that to going, I want the manager out after bloody 2 games. When you know already you're in a football club where I was, obviously when you go to the games, that's one guy I regret. I was Moyes out from before that clown even began. That before it even began, I was in a daze. I was like, what? You got the Manchester United job? I mean, the idea that we have to get behind him. No, I don't believe in this project. I'm not getting behind nobody. I know who David Moyes is. Everton is the biggest thing. And Everton were a historically great club, by the way. He used to win things. So I was never into David Moyes. And I actually was shocked that he lasted as long as he did. People are like, oh, what? So I'm like, no, he should have been gone after 3 months. Everybody could see what was happening. If you went to the games, you could see what was going on with him. The guy that I regret and should have given time because the recruitment let him down was Van Gaal. Van Gaal was doing the right things. We were playing football. Yes, he could have speeded the play up, and he could have brought in players who are a bit more explosive that can carry out his instructions. Yes, he was a dictator. Jose, look, I've lost my hair because of that guy's football at Old Trafford. It's simple, guys. The rants are all over. Me going berserk, they're all over YouTube. You can find them.
Right.
It's that bad. I'm ranting and people are literally disagreeing, or one of them's agreeing with me, the other person is disagreeing with me, and they're both fighting each other. And if you see it, I then come back, I'm like, guys, calm down. Stop fighting each other because of my rant. So it is one of those things. It happened. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, obviously, he's a club legend, and I wanted him to do well, but we all knew. Deep down, we all knew. We got excited. We were like, we got out of jail, innit? We were all in prison. Jose put us all in prison in terms of crimes against Manchester United football heritage and Manchester United Football Club. If you're going to play that ugly, you have to win for me. You have to clean up. You have to win all the big trophies. If you're going to play that type of football at Manchester United, you have to clean up all the big trophies. And anyway, so Ole came. We all knew. We just wanted it. I've never known such a goodwill from a fan base for a guy, even though deep down we knew, like, he wasn't it. But at the end of the day, it was what it was. Ten Hag comes in, and for me, I got bought into that because I know deep down, like, I'm one of these people. I know that Fergie won the Champions League. Fergie won trophies despite other Glazers, not because of the Glazers. Because Fergie was a special, unique kind of manager who was everything. He was the head of recruitment. He was the manager of the football club. He was a director of football. He was, he did all those jobs. That's who he was. So Ten Hag is the manager I wanted. I didn't want Poch. I've seen enough of Poch in the UK. I wanted Ten Hag because I saw the football they played. I saw the football Ajax played in the Champions League. I am not an avid watcher of Area Division. I do now and again watch the big games, PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord versus Ajax, or Feyenoord, PSV. You watch those games, like those big games in those countries. But I wanted him. And I said, my biggest thing, what people ask me, why do you want him? I was like, because I know United are not going to win a Champions League, and we're not going to win the Premier League title under this ownership and this model which we operate on. But I wanted to watch good football. I really wanted to watch good football. So I said within 6 months we should be able to see the good football. Obviously, he came in. The pressure was there. The expectations are there. There's enough fans. Jay just said before that have not won a trophy. It was 5-6 years before we won a trophy. They wanted to win. He went out to win a trophy with 12, 13 players, which I came out and said, this is going to burn out. Jarvis is my witness. I said it in January. I said, this is going to be burned out. The players are going to burn out, and we're going to suffer because of this. And I said, this can go into next season as well. So my criticism of Erik ten Hag are things that he's in control of. But my criticisms are specific little things. But the bigger picture is, what manager has thrived under this ownership? Let's be real out here. Like, if it goes south, it could be that maybe by the time of December, they'll pull the trigger. If they can't get top 4 or top 5 now, they'll put the trigger. Do not be Manchester United board and Manchester United and the Glazers. Self-preservation is their biggest thing. They will pull whatever trigger. They will do whatever it needs to be done because we've seen it. We've seen it all. We've won a lot, but we've also seen the shite. Let's be honest, especially in the past decade. So at the end of the day, that's what it is. So know the difference between criticizing a manager because of the game and the tactics he picked and the team that he picked and the way we're playing, and then having been the manager out, which is, it's not even a thin line. There is you can put the Atlantic and the Pacific in between. That's my little explanation.
It was a long rant. I really
100%.
Before we continue to Daly, I just have to bring in a super chat coming from Mateus, one of our loyal viewers as well, saying, people are saying I have an agenda against Bruno and Rashford since 2021-22 season, 57 goals, 2022-23 season, 58 goals. Take a look at the league tables and teams around us. Do we score enough goals? First and foremost, Mateus, I really appreciate your donation. Really, grateful for your super chat, and as you know, every super chat goes back straight into the studio, so I can pay Jarvis and everyone else a little bit more of Snickers. You know what I mean? Because they like Snickers, right? And anyway, thank you so much. I want to give this to Jay. I mean, Jay, let us know your thoughts and feelings. Are you agreeing with what Mick is saying here on this super chat?
Well, first of all, that was an epic rant. Well done. Full credit you. I must say that was excellent. I think it's really putting the club and the fan base into context. And use one word there to start, and that was nuance. I think the younger fans, they don't get the nuance. I don't know, is that just they're young, or they just lack education, don't read enough books. They don't get the nuance and the finer details of why you're going to pick faults in a team selection, tactics, and or a manager. We're fans watching football our life. I personally, by the way, I love Jose, right? I thought he's the biggest pair of bollocks that ever came into Old Trafford. And had he been bought the players that he wanted at the time, as in, I have it on good authority that Mourinho did not want Pogba at all. And then at the end was playing Fellaini just to take the piss because he hated Pogba that much. That at the time he wanted Milinkovic-Savic, not Pogba, and he wanted Perisic as his winger to provide service for Ibra. So I think in season 3 with Jose, it was almost the syndrome. Well, fuck this, I'm out of here anyway. Now how can I get myself sacked? Let me see. I bench Pogba, play Fellaini, piss everybody off. But I love Jose. I just love his character. But I take your point. I went to a lot of games at Old Trafford, and it's 0-0, and you're watching thinking, geez, Jose, will you just do something? Come on, please, mate. Get us to 1-0. So I take a point on that. The Moyes point, 100%. Back your manager, bollocks. I believe, and I base this on just my own opinion, Ferguson put him in situ to solidify his own legacy. Point blank. That's it. Mic drop moment right there.
Mic drop.
He put in Moyes to listen. I've left Nation squad. I've won a title. Let me see. If Jose comes in now, he'll get back to the transfer market. He'll probably get another year or two out of Rio. Rooney will step up because it's Jose, and he gets 4 or 5 players. Normal service will carry on. No, I can't let that happen. I'm the boss here. It's my legacy. I need to solidify it. I'm putting Moyes in charge. That's my own personal belief. And anybody can come at me with that in the free seats. I tweeted enough times. And Solskjaer, I said on another channel 3 years ago, it was like handing the keys of a Ferrari to a toddler. I thought, Jesus Christ, lads, what are you at? I was like, no way. No way. This new chap, Ten Hag, same as yourself. Have I watched much Dutch football? No. My knowledge of Ajax is watching in Champions League. So this guy, you got to give him at least 3 seasons, and give him 3 seasons to get rid of the dross and the losers that Solskjaer has there. He not only has to get in new players, he's got to change a club culture and raise standards back up that we started this competition with. So you've got to give him at least 3 seasons. End of. But to Jarvis's point, if we don't get 5th place, Jesus, 5th place, Champions League, what's that about? The Glazers will shit the bed and might get rid of him. I hope they don't, because then the boom bust cycle starts again. The crack, guys. We don't get quite with Champions League. In comes new manager. He gets backed for 1 season, and the cycle continues cyclical over and over again. And that's the nuance, Naren, that you were referring to. Rant of the week, in a nutshell, the piss poor PR show orchestrated by the club with Rashford. Like how not to do PR.com is our club. Like last week, they were dropping stories in the media to test the fan base, to test the temperature of the fan base and the fans online. What will happen if we bring him back? How will the fans react? It was only because of that backlash that they have said, okay, no, we're not going to bring him back. I firmly believe that. And then to come out then in their statement that he's innocent, that the audio and the visuals. So are we now saying that was doctored? That was all doctored. That video didn't happen and it's not real. Because based on our statement, that's what it's trying to infer. So, guys, I don't get it. I don't want to take up too much airtime, but basically, we're a soap opera. We are a soap opera.
But still,
that's what we are.
Absolutely, 100%. Big up to you. Smash the like and big applause to you for always appreciate your sharp tongues and bringing something different and nuances to me and Jarvis sometimes. Sometimes I see it differently, like, I see it through a different lens, like, I try to see more positive and, I will have my last say, but I want to hear Jarvis, Mr. Conservative. Sometimes I want to hear what's your rant of the week, sir.
Yeah,
but anyway, we have a super chat.
We have a super chat, and let's just bring in some of the great comments in the VAR room. So before we move on.
You can go ahead. You can handle that because.
Yeah, okay. Alien Tenno super chat. I wanted to put that fucking horse head in Fergus something. So we all know what's that about. It was maybe you have the story, Alien Tenno, about the horse and Ferguson.
In short, Rock of Gibraltar, Irish racehorse, GP Magner and an Irish consortium were large minority shareholders from the club back initially when the Edwards family started to put us on a stock exchange. JP Magner, very famous Irish horse trainer. I'm not sure the percentages. Nara, you might know, but it was in the 30% range or higher. They owned the club. And
they were the McManus and McMahon.
Yeah, McManus and JP Magner. They're all combined.
Yeah.
So Fergie had shares in the horse, a very famous racehorse.
Rock of
Gibraltar. But when the horse retired, obviously, what was more valuable was the stud fees. Was worth millions. The Irish lads were claiming, no. You had a stake at a horse when the horse is living. You're not getting a cut of the stud fees. So basically, Ferguson, through his house at a pram, brought the boys to court, long-term courts drama. And what did Irish boys do? Said, right, Fergie, fuck you. So they sold their shares. Who bought them?
The Glazers.
Who bought them? The Glazers. So that's the horse's head. So United could be owned by Ireland right now, by an Irish consortium. Just let that sit with you guys. Do you want the Mad Irish or do you want the Americans?
Give me the fucking Mad Irish all day.
But there you go.
Just to give a little bit, just quickly, of added to that. They couldn't sack Fergie. They knew they will be tracked down by every Manchester United fans globally. They'll be tracked down, those two. They didn't want the hassle. Ireland, Manchester United, huge fan base. They would have been the two guys that sacked Fergie. So other than that, they were like, let's get out of here about this. And that's what happened, basically. The Glazers, and by the way, Glazers, I think it was Joe Glazer who was studying here. And they were buying little shares here and there. They saw the opportunity. Their dad came in, put that 200 million, 500 million in terms of leverage debt, and the rest, we're still here with it. We're still suffering.
Sorry, yeah. Jarvis, go ahead. I'm handling the mute buttons because not to avoid there's some echoes. So I'm trying to manage the echoes. So Jarvis, go ahead. What is your say before we continue?
Yeah, when it comes to my rant, I don't have any rant prepared, but I have been thinking about something the last couple of days after the game against Spurs, the new Ten Hag formation, and it baffles me how Ten Hag wants to play this formation with the two number 8s. Because basically when you play with the 2 number 8s, the ones who cover up for the fullbacks when they go in attack, if we get a transition and they come at us, who is going to cover for the fullbacks when we play the 2 number 8s? Because usually you have a double pivot, 2 lines of defense, and the pivot is the 2. When the attack goes with the fullbacks, the 2 midfielders in the pivot will go out to the sides and cover for the fullbacks. Now we play with Casemiro in the middle. We have 2 number 8s up, and when the fullbacks go, who is going to cover? Is Casemiro going to cover all the line? No. Pep Guardiola has figured out how to fix it. He has more defensive wingers. He have Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, and what's his name, Bernardo Silva. So they usually play on the right and the left, and they are more defensive minded. They like to they can come down and they can track back all the way down to cover the fullback. But we don't have that. Our wingers is inverted forwards. We have Rashford, we have Garnacho, we have Anthony and Pilestri. None of them are the same type of players as Grealish, Foden, and Bernardo Silva, who can track back. The only player who can track back is Anthony, but he has no output going forward. So I can't understand in my wildest imagination why Ten Hag is playing with 2 number 8s, because I can't understand, because we are unbalanced, because every time the opposite team counter-attack on us, we don't have cover. So Casemiro have to cover all the width of the field, and he has no chance doing that, because we all know Casemiro is not mobile enough. So for me, I can't understand, and I wish I could think and pick in Ten Hag's brain and understand his thinking. So I don't know. I bring this back to the rest of the panel. What's your thought about this? Oh, unmute.
Sorry. It's just a madness because I'm muting myself not to get the echo, so I keep forgetting. But big up for you, Rant, for everyone. Please let us know in the comments below before we continue, because I believe that Nuradin, you have a show coming up as well, so we all have to go over to your show and support you there as well. But listen, I have 2 rants. Right, it's going to be very short and sweet, right? We all know where this is coming from. It's called delusional FC. We talked about it. You know, some people call it big head, slab head. But I'm talking about, you know, how you're spoiling Ten Hag in moving forward, how you're actually sabotaging the plan of moving forward by refusing to go away, by refusing to, not seeing the elephant in the room that you were not getting any game time, when it's been clear described to you that by slipping off your captaincy, by telling you that you need to find another club, to come up with statements that I want to play for something bigger and ask for money. What is this? Because for me, I support the team. I support this development. But for me, this is sabotage, right? What are you trying to achieve? Okay, you can sit on the bench and rot away and just collect your money. But at the end of the day, you're a football player and you should be able to play football. But for me, this is a pure sabotage and delaying the overall recruitment process. And that's why I am pissed off. That's my rant. So if you're going to talk about playing false number 9, we're going to talk about playing false number 5. Right? That's my rant on false number 5. And number 2 is talk to the hand. It's basically the new referee rules. You're not allowed to speak to the refs. The adding on the extra minutes, kudos, more game time. But the refs this year are just being total, I don't know. Talk to the hand. I'm God. Like, you're not allowed to talk to them. We saw a yellow card for the captain going up to speak to the referee, and it gives him a yellow card. That is just like inverted referee as well. Like, you know, so you're talking about inverted wingers. Talking about inverted referees, how you invert and not communicate. So that is my rant. Please, guys, score. Give us, give me all the credits here as well. So, guys, that's my rant anyway. What do you guys reckon about that structure?
Yeah, I need to go just to say big up to everybody. Love and light. Definitely agree. I think hopefully they always. It's very difficult, isn't it? Every season they bring out these new rules or whatever, and then they get common sense goes out the window. They all become rule like robots. Rules. And then what happens usually? There's a bit of an uproar, and then they then rein it in a little bit. It's going to be very interesting in terms of like what Maguire's doing. For me, it's an absolute joke. It shows me, for me, he's a mercenary. He's always been a mercenary, and the only reason why I came to Manchester United is because of a mercenary. Manchester United offered apparently 6 million, after you and Jay were saying, before they offered him that amount of money. And he's basically saying, I want double. I want 12 million to say goodbye. And you're like, wow, it's the Euros in the summer. Where's your pride? Where's your pride? Like, if you say you're as good as you are, like with all your PR, and you don't have to, you don't have to impress anybody. You don't have to do this. The PR machine that surrounded you. You would go, I'm gonna shut these club up. I'm gonna go there, be a captain of West Ham or whatever team that he goes to, and I'm gonna put week in, week out, and the whole of the country and the whole of world football are gonna go, what a mistake. What were Manchester United thinking letting him go? Look at the way he's performing. But we all know that's not it. And at the end of the day,
Nuradin, I still believe, I'm positive that this is a battle. Who's got the leverage? And it's all about this. Hang on a second before you go.
You have the ring. And I...
Brilliant.
Who's got the bigger Schwartz?
Well, we'll see, because a proper football club would have made him train with the youth team. Not the 20s, the youth team. He would be training with the youth team, and that's what would be happening. But big up to everybody. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Big up to Jay. Good to see you on screen at least. Jarvis, always. And Mick, big up for the invite. Love and light, people. Take care. Manchester United will be back. I promise you, people.
You will be back.
Listen, Manchester United will be back. But we need to get the vultures out first. And big up to everybody who is hopefully going to sit down and stay in the stadium. But big up. Love and light always, people. Take care.
Nora, before you go, you have a show in 30 minutes. People, where can they find you?
No, I'm going to do it actually. I'm going to go live now, actually. I'm going live now. It's 10.
You're going live? Okay.
Yeah.
Big
up.
Guys, we'll catch up, Nora, later on. Thank you, Nora, for coming on and having you say big up to you. Glazes are green and gold until we finally sold. All right. Always. Big up to you, mate.
Please.
Thanks for coming on, man. All right. That was fun, wasn't it? Listen, we have one more piece before we close the shop, because obviously there's people here that are supporting Nuradin's channel, so there's people want to go there as well. So guys, let's do this before we close the shop, because we are talking about the Premier League round number 3. So currently the table as we've seen it today, Brighton, the Derby ball, is currently leading. I mean, they've been quite impressive, guys. Like, City's on the 2nd spot, Arsenal on 3rd, Brentford 4th, Tottenham Hotspurs for some reason, of course, they beat us. But you can't really count the table right now. We're sitting on 12th. But what we're going to do here is to predict together, people, together with the VAR room. I will unmute Jay here as well. So, I don't care if we have echo. But, of course, we have round number 3 here. We're playing, I want us to predict the scores together, right? Are we with this? Like, are you with me what we want to do? So I'm going to start with you, Jay. If we go with Chelsea, Luton Town, what do you reckon the score will be there? Is Chelsea going to get it over the line, or?
I think Chelsea will comfortably 3-0. They're at home. And the fact that I've got 2 of their players in my fantasy team, I want a 3-0 win.
Okay, 3-0. What's people saying? 4-0 saying people. 3-0 Chelsea. Okay, 3-0 it is. Let's move on. So we will have 3-0. All right, what's going on here? Hang on a second. 3-0. Okay, next game we're talking about AF's Bournemouth against Spurs. I don't think Spurs will bottle it.
I don't know. I like Bournemouth, but they lost against Liverpool 3-1 this weekend, so I think Spurs will win. I will say I think there will be 3-1 to Spurs. Jay, what's your prediction?
Well, I think Bournemouth will probably give Spurs a better game than we gave them. The fact that Bournemouth are at home, I'm going to go with 2-1 Spurs.
2-1 to Spurs.
Yeah.
I see 2-1. RG saying 2-1 Bournemouth will do an upset 2-1. It's a reverse basically, and John Johnson is saying 3-1 to. So I believe the 2-1 to Bournemouth. I absolutely believe that. I
Okay.
don't think the Spurs will fix it under Postecoglou away. So I will see what people are saying here. Spurs to lose 2-1. That's the majority. So we have to go with the 2-1 people. We have to go with 2-1. We will calculate. And now we're having Arsenal against Fulham at home. Is this a walk in the park, Jay?
On paper, it should be, but I thought Arsenal was a walk in the park against Palace the other night. Only got a 1-0. They're at home. It's Fulham. Fulham without Mitrovic haven't signed anybody of note this season, so I'm going to go a standard Arsenal 2-0 win.
Yeah, I think you're right. I will also go for a 2-0 win for Arsenal. Fulham is looking bad at the moment. They lost 3-0 against Brentford this weekend, so they're not in form either. So I can't see them scoring goals at the moment. So Arsenal will win this.
Okay, I go. See, Billy Connolly saying 2-2. Stephanie Griffin 2-0 Arsenal. Majority will say Mo Hamza will go 2-1. So we have to come to a consensus. I think it will be a 2-1 for some reason. Did we say 2-0 or 2-1?
I said
Jarvis,
2-0. But,
yeah, we said 2-0.
Yeah, I can't see Fulham scoring without
No, me neither.
Or 2-0 then?
Yeah,
do we
and
agree?
he says 2-0, so yeah, 2-0.
Okay. Next one is Brentford. This is an interesting one. Brentford, Crystal Palace. I like the way Crystal Palace like with SA, and even if it's the old grandfather almost falling off the cliff, standing there. I'm really impressed with him. That's like the same age of Alex Ferguson still standing there. He will die on that pitch actually, but they're playing good football, and I thought that Crystal Palace was equally good to Arsenal last game. The only thing is that they were not used to playing possession-based football, even like if Arsenal got one sent off. So they could easily be 1-1. But what do you guys reckon regarding Brentford, Crystal Palace? Brentford 1-0, says Ahmed.
Surely Brentford have too much for Crystal Palace. I know what you're saying, but Roy Hodgson the other night against Arsenal, Crystal Palace put up to them. I know Jarvis is going to bring in Wisa into his fancy team. So for Jarvis, I'm going to say 2-0. Wisa gets 2 goals.
That would be perfect.
Jarvis, you?
Yeah, see, Neil Driscoll, William Connolly says 2-0. So I also believe Brentford will win, but I think they will score more goals. And Buemo is on fire also. So I think actually Brentford will win 3-0.
Okay. The comments are saying Jarle Malmin says 3-1. Angie saying 1-1. Billy Connolly says 3-1. Palace to lose 2-1. What are the score? What are the score, people? We need to go with something in the middle. I think it will be a tight game, to be honest.
2-1 then.
2-1 then.
2-1. Home game advantage. All right, Everton, Wolverhampton Wanderers. This is a boring game. A draw.
Yeah, if ever a game had a 1-1 draw written all over it, this is it. Or 0-0. Definitely a draw.
I agree. You, Jarvis?
Yeah, Everton looked really bad at the moment. I think Wolves will win. I think they were good against United, so I think maybe Wolves will win 1-0 if they can score a goal.
Okay, all right. Matthias is agreeing, actually. 0-1. I see people agreeing. This is going to be a Wolves victory. They look a little bit sharper, though, but it depends on if they can finish the dinner. If Matthias Nunes will find his shooting boots as well. Apparently, City's after him as well. Now, this is the game that we are wondering about. This is our dear beloved Reds, Manchester United, Nottingham Forest. Guys, take it away.
I don't think it's as easy as people think. I think we will stutter, stammer, make hard work of it, and just eke out a 2-1 win.
2-1 win. Okay.
You reckon Onana's going to let one in?
I'm more optimistic. I think we are better than Forest. I think the players want to give the fans something to talk about. They want to make a statement because the 2 first game was terrible. They have had 1 week rest. They played a friendly against Burnley yesterday. They apparently lost 3-0 behind closed doors. So
was the reserve
United
time.
aren't looking good at the moment. I think Nottingham Forest will score, but hopefully we can score 2 goals. So 2-1.
I used Jill is in the house. Guess his positivity. Guess what? Bring it on, Irish. Bring it on. Go ahead, get in there, son. Come on. Listen, I go with a little bit more positivity based on Rasmus Højlund will start from the bench. I will see a 3-0 to Manchester United. I don't think Onana is going to let it in. I think the players got a belting from Ten Hag. If I have a fantasy, I see that Højlund comes in on his debut from the bench and scores a goal. So I will go 3-0 to Manchester United, if I may say so.
Yeah, I see the VAR room thinks we will win. Most people, Edward Reed has a draw, but most people say a win for United. So Simon Heron says 2-1, agreed.
So you guys, you reckon we're not going to have a clean sheet?
RJ,
Elanga is going to come in and score against us. 3-0. Billy Connolly, you're with me. 3-0. Matty R is saying 3-0. 3-2, Mateus. Where's the 2 goals coming from then? So we're going to let in 2. 2-0. Okay. What is the score? What's the average?
I would say 2-1 or 3-1.
Let's go with the Ruby Classic 3-1, okay? We all agree with 3-1. Okay, well, we'll clip this comeback. Brighton, West Ham. Oof, the Serby ball. I'll leave it to you, Jarvis.
Yeah, Brighton look amazing at the moment. I think they will continue scoring a lot of goals. So my bet is 4-1 to Brighton.
Matthias is also saying 4-1. You, Jay?
I don't think Brighton will concede at home. I think they're very well organized defensively. I'm going to go with 3-0.
3-0. Yeah, I agree with you. 3-0. 3-3 says Jolly.
Okay, wow.
4-0 Brighton.
Simon Heron, 4-0. So Mateo, John Johnson, 2-1. So people believe they will score a couple of goals. There will be a Brighton win. If we go for the average of this, maybe we will go for 3-1 then.
Yeah, I believe West Ham will score actually at some point. 3-1 then. Because for me, Brighton is the dark horse in this season. I always believe that they're going to do well this season with the Serby second season. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe they finish in top 4. Who knows? Who knows? Burnley, Aston Villa. This is definitely Aston Villa all over the shop, right? Written all over it.
But low scoring though, it's Burnley. If you go with Villa, it's nothing more than a scraping a 1-0. It's going to be a very, very tight game. I can't see Villa traveling to Burnley and getting half of the goals. I think 1-0, chaps.
To who?
To Villa.
To Villa. Okay. Jarvis, you?
Yeah. Do you want to go first, Mick?
2-1 to Aston Villa.
2-1. Okay. I have a sneaky suspicion that Burnley will be one of the surprises this season. Their manager has done bits. They have signed a couple of good players. For example, Sander Berge from Sheffield United, the Norwegian. I like him. He will create stability in their midfield. I believe that Burnley will win this game 3-1.
3-1. 1-1 draw is Angie saying, Lucky Singh, 1-1 draw. A lot of people saying 1-1 draw. Clariot Blue, Derby, 1-1. 1-1. It's going to be a draw, according to the VR room. Should we go for that? Settle it.
Yeah. I'm okay.
Sheffield United versus City. Haaland, hat-trick. Incoming.
5-0.
No. Jay.
Okay.
6-0.
Well, I don't think it'd be 6-0. I think we'll go halfway in between. I'm going to go conservative. I said 3-0.
3-0. We have a lot of 6-0, 7-0, 87-0 is Madior. Come on, man. Now you're worse than Ayush. Yeah, it's going to be a slaughter fest, I believe, with Erlen Haaland. You're probably going to see a hat trick from Erlen. I believe it's going to be a 4-0. 6-0.
The VAR room says 6-0. Edward Reed, Madior, Mateus.
Okay, let's go for it. 6-0. I don't want that, but okay. It's not what I want. And the final game, it's Newcastle versus Liverpool, the one that I can't wait to watch Liverpool lose because Newcastle's playing at home. I take it away with you, Jay. What do you reckon? Is Klopp going to pull another hamstring?
No, this is the game of the week. I think score draw. I think a 2-2 draw.
A 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
Jarvis?
There's always a lot of goals historically when it comes to Liverpool Newcastle. There's a lot of like 4-3s and a lot of excitement. So I think also this time it will be 4-3. And I think Liverpool will win it.
Well, you read Tank Sherman's there. 2-2 draw, according to what people saying. 1-1 draw. Newcastle will destroy them with 3-0. I think Newcastle will destroy them, to be honest. This is away, and they're playing against Newcastle at home. They're in a good shape to perform. I don't think that Liverpool's midfield is not in shape. They're not looking good. I see a Newcastle win. 2-2 says Simon Heron. Angie says 2-1, 2-0 Newcastle. Should we go neutral by 2-1? Yeah,
I think there will be more. There's always historically a lot of goals when it comes to Newcastle Liverpool. So yeah, but the VAR room is like a 2-1 or a 2-2 ish. Or
Ahmed is saying 3-2.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for 3-2 then.
Ahmed also says 3-2 Newcastle. Edward Reed 3-1 Newcastle. So Newcastle win 3-1 or 3-2.
Okay, that is final going once. We will calculate this, boom, and then we will see how the table will align. Basically, what you're saying then, the Manchester City will go on top, Brighton will fall off on the second, Arsenal third, Brentford fourth, and that leaves us Newcastle in fifth, and in top six will be Manchester United. Remember, this is just the third round, but this is how you can sort of calculate depending on the results and the goal difference. Let's see how we go, people. It's been a fantastic 1 hour and 15-minute show. We're going over the time. Let's close this up and let's bring you all back to stage. Thank you for engaging VR room as well. It's been a little bit of a sort of different show today, haven't it? A little bit of a, fantasy league and a little bit of a rant and a little bit away from transfer talks and everything else. But anyway, Jay, see you on Saturday post-match, right?
Yeah, I look forward to it. See you all then.
Hopefully we have a win.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Listen, say hello to your son, Mikey. How is he doing?
They got beaten in the cup there last night. They got beaten 4-3.
4-3.
So he was second. Nothing he did.
Yeah.
You try to tell 10-year-olds not to play ball across the back four. You know yourself. What happens? They play the ball across the back four. But there you go.
Jay, I have an idea. I will wait for you to submit your team for the fantasy and I will copy you. That's the way to cheat.
I'll send you a screenshot then on Friday, okay?
All right, then.
Is that fair? Okay.
That's fair enough.
Right, okay,
Listen,
fair
people, thank you for tuning in. We have 62 likes. Big up for everyone. And thanks for all the donations, super chats, and coffees and beer. Jarvis, what are you going to select for your fantasy? Do you have a strategy?
No, not. I will just play it safe this round. It's too early in the season now. It's just about being in the race, and after a while, the people who are down on the list will give up and stop playing. So then it's time for Jarvis to swoop up and get into the 100,000 rank.
Well, I'm in relegation form. I need to get up there. I need to ask I need to ask Jay if he can be my personal trainer here now. Listen.
No, it seems to me Jarvis is obviously a shark in this game as well. He's in it for the long haul. I see that already. I know he is.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So big up to everyone. Lisa Jensen, good night, good evening, peace, love, and banana onana. I believe we will bounce back on Saturday and the mood will be right up the top again. I believe that we're going to have some recruitment, new fresh blood coming in. I don't believe it ain't over till the fat lady sings. I believe that Maguire will find a way out. That Ten Hag will win for some reason. If he managed to get Cristiano Ronaldo out of the door, he can definitely get the slab head out of the door as well. Guys, brilliant. Let's close off the shop. And Ahmed is saying before we close the shop, Yasim will come and save us, man. Yeah, we need a saver, people. We need a saver. Listen, big up Jay, big up Jarvis. I was just pack up the show and say good night. See you.
We have one more comment before we go. I just want to put up Rushmano, LUHG, love United, hate the Glazers as usual. So thank you for that, Rushmano.
Thank you, sir. Guys, have a nice evening. I'm naked, but it's been a guess. Good evening, Poe. That's all. Bye for now. See us.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.